Sadhguru, thanks again for inviting me here to such a beautiful place. You've been really lucky that you are here and you were born here, I would say. Sadhguru, you've seen this river very closely and अगर मैं हिंदी में कहूँ तो इसकी गोद में आप खेले हैं. Now, at this stage, when the whole world knows your concern for humanity and you pick up so many issues, various issues which affect the human life. But why did you think that talking about rivers at this stage for India especially is so important and it should be brought into national consciousness?
See, right now the situation in the country is like this. Well, since 1947, from where we were in 1947 to today, in terms of economy, in terms of business, in terms of development, science, technology, we've come, we've taken huge steps. The most important thing in all this is, in 1947, the average life expectancy of an Indian was 28 years. That means both you and me shouldn't be alive right now.
Yes, I realize that.
So today we've reached something like 70 or 71, which is the life expectancy of an Indian. So this is a phenomenal achievement. In making all these things happen, one thing we kind of forgot is the land that nourished us, soil and water, we forgot, or the pressures of the population and our pace of acceleration for development, all these things took a huge toll. Out of 160 million hectares of arable land, 105 million hectares have been labeled as distressed soil. People think the problem is water. No, the real problem is soil. When there is no sufficient organic content in the soil, there is not enough vegetation, the water, the rainwater that comes down, instead of percolating down, it is flowing off on the surface. This is the reason why you're seeing flood and drought in the same place. Wherever there is flood today, just watch it in another 3-4 months, there'll be a drought there, because the water is not going down. We need to understand, in a tropical country, there is only one source of water. River is not a source of water, lake is not a source of water, pond or well is not a source of water. These are all destinations for water, but the only source of water is monsoon, and that monsoon has not dwindled. So seeing this, nearly on an average, all rivers in India have depleted by 40% on an average. Kaveri has depleted 44%. And in Kaveri basin in the last 10 years, 47,600 farmers have committed suicide. I'm saying, what more disaster do you want in a nation?
You are a blessed soul who can think like that, but today's human being who is out to exploit nature, left, right and center, for his betterment, you can say, success, progress, I think it's almost exploiting nature to the hilt.
In the last 25 years, I'm seeing river just depleting continuously. But particularly in the last 7 to 8 years, the depletion is so sharp that nearly 5.5 months it is not touching the ocean. Why this sharpness of drop… sharpness in the drop? I don't have any explanation, I'm just making a guesswork. I'm just saying maybe because of the groundwater exploitation is so high, the aquifers, instead of feeding the river, they're taking away the water because water is being sucked by powerful pumps all over the place. Could be, I don't have an absolute answer for that. But for some reason, in the last 7-8 years, it's been very sharp, and since then, my concern has been there. I've been waiting for an appropriate moment to bring this into people's consciousness. Everybody thinks the problem is too big, it is not for them to address. So this Kaveri calling is an effort, it is a partnership between the farmers, the government and the civil society to make sure that we put back at least 1/3 of the vegetation that we have removed. 87% of the green cover has been removed in the last 45 years.
Sadhguru, that brings me to a question that I'm not saying I'm going to be fatalist here, but don't you think it is the… जिसे कहते हैं सृष्टि का क्रम है, something which is created will get destroyed, and is it that human efforts and human intervention can either slow down the process or reverse the process, or the Srishti will keep on going, destroying itself, recreating itself, and probably it's one of those things. Or you think that human intervention is going to change the direction where nature is going?
When the problem is created by the human being, the solution also has to come from the human being. So about nature fixing its own ways, yes, it will. Once there is no water in the villages, which is happening, they're on just the edge. During summer seasons, there are almost no water, many of them are migrating to other villages to just drink water. If that continues and if two consecutive monsoons completely fail, let's say, you will see civil strife will happen in a volume that you cannot control. All the things we are doing to take the nation forward could be turned back simply because we did not manage soil and water.
Understood. And how gargantuan the task is, this is a huge problem. But what is the solution then?
See, the solution is not in some rocket science kind of thing, this is simple. As I said, there is only one source of water, which is monsoon. We have to retain this in the soil. There is a very wonderful saying in Tamil which says, Kaveri nadandu vandada valam, odi vanda vellam. That means only if she walks, she is prosperity. If she runs, she is a disaster. So she has to come slowly. If she has to come slowly, the rainwater that comes must sink in this way and slowly find its way to the river. Right now it's just running straight on the surface and getting to the river. This is not good. And another thing that's happened is, because of lack of vegetation or tree cover, what has happened is, the monsoons which are spread over 100 to 140 days normally about 25 years ago, today is largely happening between 40 to 75 days. So when it rains, there is a flood, otherwise there is a drought. Flood and drought are not two different problems, it is one problem.
So you are saying that having scarcity and floods is part of the…
It is the same cycle, it's the same problem, yes.
How is it the same problem?
See, the same volume of rain is coming, but we are not able to hold it in the land. That is the problem. So right now what we are talking about is to bring back 1/3 of Kaveri basin under shade, where there is substantial vegetation. So if this happens, we are talking about 242 crore trees in Kaveri basin. Right now there are studies showing that 10,000 trees in congruent land can sequester or augment approximately between 38 to 45 million liters of water. What this means is, 242 crores trees can augment approximately 9 to 12 trillion liters of water.
Today's kids, when they asked, where does the milk come from? The kid says it comes from the packet. Now, this is the kind of reality we are facing. We live in cities.
I must tell you this, now that you mentioned this, during Rally for Rivers, we organized thousands of art competitions in various schools. The saddest part is, many children, when they drew the picture of a river, what they drew was brown sand, because that's how they've seen the river, that's their idea of a river. Yes, that reality unfortunately we have created, but the important thing is this, right now, here there are two problems. One is an ecological problem, another is a human problem. Hundreds and thousands of farmers, when they commit suicide, we must understand, we are creating a very massive problem. It may not be very long before they get organized and disasters will happen in the cities. Manifestations will come to the cities. Whether it happens or not, that's not the issue, but where is our humanity, first of all? When people who grow food for us, when they're dying in thousands every year, where is the humanity? Whether you live in city or village, what does it matter? So right now, we have converted 69,760 farmers into agroforestry. In 5 to 7 years, their incomes go up 300 to 800%. So it's a proven model right now. So only thing is, every year we are converting approximately 4 to 5,000 farmers. If we go at this pace, it'll take 80 to 100 years. What Kaveri calling is right now is, we want to crush this 100 years into 12-year project. For this, we needed the support of the government. Fortunately, both Tamil Nadu government and Karnataka government, both of them have said 100% they are willing to support the farmer to shift to agroforestry for the first 4 years with subsidies.
So Sadhguru, on that note, we should take a break and we'll be back soon. The people who are not familiar with agroforestry, and they would definitely be inquisitive to know what can actually government in simple terms help do to help this cause.
See, what happens with agroforestry is, when we move to agroforestry, we are not asking them to move 100%. Those, many of them want to move to 100%, that's their choice, but generally we are asking one-third of their land. Now, when you move to agroforestry, let's say you have 1 hectare of land, you made it into agroforestry, then what happens is, in first 2 years, 15% of your revenue will be lost. Right now, on an average, most farmers in this region are earning about 45,000 rupees per hectare per year. So 15% of it drop will happen in the first 2 years. In the second 2 years, about 30% drop will happen. On the fourth year, 50% drop will happen. We want the government to compensate this in the form of subsidies. But by fifth year, he starts earning, from 45,000 he starts earning 3.2 to 3.5 lakhs per year. And from then on, his income goes on increasing. So first 4 years for this transition, that loss of revenue that is happening to the farmer has to be augmented by the government. Now both Tamil Nadu and Karnataka fortunately have agreed to do this 100%. The way we have given the project, they say definitely we will do this. Another problem was, in this country, the laws are such, even if you grow your own tree in your own land, if you grow a tree, if you cut it, you could be arrested for that. Because timber is treated as a forest produce. We want to form a timber board so that timber will be treated as agricultural produce, because in this country, cutting trees in the forest is over. In this country, it is completely finished. There is no room for any more cutting in the forest. Forest produce must be closed, except for minor produce, the tribals and others who live around it make use of it, that's different. But commercial exploitation of forest must come to zero. The only way you can get timber is from farms. Right now, we are importing over 70,000 crores worth of raw timber, over 120,000 crores worth of timber products. Why can't we grow it in our own land? And this will save the farmer in a big way, because we have already demonstrated.
So that's why you are needing government intervention?
Yes, that is the government intervention. One thing is to relax the laws about cutting the trees. In the previous term of the central government, they released 18 species. But the problem is, central government releases, but Tamil Nadu government releases only 10 species. Karnataka has not released any species.
The species means you are saying that these trees can be planted, you're giving permission to be planted.
But you cannot cut it.
Okay, so you are saying that from the list of prohibited trees…
I am saying, there should be no prohibition of any kind. In my land, whatever I grow, I must be able to crop it according to my need. Only then I will use my land to grow trees. It can't take away the wealth of the farmer.
The people who are listening to you right now, Sadhguru, how would, if they want to make a change, what should be the first steps right now? Suppose they are moved by what you said right now.
See, in Mumbai city, a beggar who is sitting on the streets of Mumbai city can easily contribute 1 tree per week, 42 rupees, I'm sure he is capable. If a beggar can contribute 1 tree a week, you and many other people, all the citizens in this country must think how much they can do if a beggar can do. I'm going to get 42 rupees from at least 100 beggars in Bangalore and Chennai, watch it. I will definitely do it. They will not refuse me, because I'll go begging to them. They will not refuse me. Now I'm asking, how many people will respond? But right now, 87,000 trees per day is being contributed, but we need to raise this into lakhs. It is important to do this, because you can do many things in the country, but if you destroy the soil and water, there is no nation. We need to understand this.
Yeah. And the basics are not there, the foundation is gone, there is nothing. Sadhguru, is it possible, like in every other field, in medical science, in energy, we have seen nuclear energy coming and providing radical solutions. In medical science, we've seen there is nature therapy one side, which is a slow process, versus surgery and interventions of technology which has made many things possible. Isn't it that something as radical as which innovation and scientific inventions can provide here also as a solution? Can't human race find a solution which is absolutely out of the box for a problem like this? Or this we have to solve in a very conventional bit by bit planting tree ways?
See, there are engineering solutions. Right now there is a dam, that's why Kaveri is dammed like this. Engineering solutions are okay for emergencies, but without ecological solutions, there is no solution. We must understand this. We are talking about science and technology. There is no better science nor technology than nature itself. This is a phenomenal technology. What happens in a river, the hydrological process that's happening there, what is the life around it, how all of them are as one, they're working like one mechanism, there is no better technology. First of all, the important thing is, this is not just about human life, this is also about every other life. We must understand this, there is no greater poison in the world than ignorance.
Yes, I understand that, yet I hope all of us are listening to what Sadhguru is saying here. Sadhguru, you have chosen Kaveri, and in Maharashtra you have talked about Yavatmal Wagadi, Nadi Punarjivan Prakalp. Now, are you symbolically using these rivers because they are very, very important?
No.
And or are you giving a larger message to about the rivers, or you are one by one tackling the
There is a
issues?
larger message. See, we did Rally for Rivers. That was cooking within me for last 28 years. So Rally for Rivers was a purely awareness process where 162 million people participated, and that led to the change in the policy. Now this is a totally large-scale demonstration where the farmers, the government and the civil society need to act. Farmers are willing to act, government has already acted, now it is the business of every civilized human being. If there is any humanity, we need to respond. If 300,000 plus farmers commit suicide in 15 years, if this doesn't move us, I don't know what.
No, I think your message is loud and clear, Sadhguru. And thank you for enlightening all of us. I would like to recite one poem I wrote about rivers
Please.
and water. It says, I will not let the water become old. मैं वृद्ध नहीं होने दूंगा पानी को, मैं वृद्ध नहीं होने दूंगा पानी को, मैं क्रुद्ध नहीं होने दूंगा पानी को, मैं वृद्ध नहीं होने दूंगा पानी को, मैं क्रुद्ध नहीं होने दूंगा पानी को। मेरी नदियों में आज सयानापन है, मेरी नदियों में आज सयानापन है, मेरी गगरी में आज कहाँ बचपन है। कंकरिया मारेगा जो आज कन्हैया, रो देगा पनघट और सब ताल तलैया। बरखा की बूंदों में भी खारापन है, जंगल में भी रूठा रूठा जीवन है। एक झील सुलगती है चुपचाप अकेले, अब कहां रहा निर्झर जो संग संग खेले। चुपचाप खड़ा रोता है आज हिमालय, चुपचाप खड़ा रोता है आज हिमालय, और सिसक रही है धरती हौले हौले। है पूछ रही यह सृष्टि मौन क्यों हो तुम, कोई तो आए द्वार नया एक खोले। यह प्रश्न सांस का है, यह प्रश्न सांस का है, कुछ करना होगा। यह प्रश्न प्यास का है, कुछ करना होगा। कोई वृक्ष हमारे जड़ से हिला रहा है, कोई वृक्ष हमारे जड़ से हिला रहा है। एक सत्य खड़ा है, आंखें मिला रहा है। मैं क्षुब्ध नहीं होने दूंगा पानी को, अवरुद्ध नहीं होने दूंगा पानी को। मैं वृद्ध नहीं होने दूंगा पानी को, मैं क्रुद्ध नहीं होने दूंगा पानी को।